I'm tickled to show you how I'm going to quilt my scrappy placemats. I'm using some leftover fabric from a Baby Gone Wild baby quilt I just made, and I've put it together with this gold, plain gold color fabric, and I've made some rail fence blocks. I have this all basted and ready to go, and I have Fabulux Midas Touch thread. It's 3 shades of gold that kind of is blending into this golden color fabric. So I'm just going to stitch ribbon candy in the gold stripes. Let me show you how I do this. Just stitching up and down. I'm not going too crazy over does everything touch or not touch. I'm just looking to add some texture to this area. Now, by only quilting the gold, if I were using a higher loft batting, I would really get some puff in the unquilted areas. But since this is going to be a placemat, I want it to be flat. I'm using just some leftover polyester I have. Now, I've just stitched myself into a corner right here, and the next place I want to stitch is up here. So what I'm going to do is kind of do a fake stitch in the ditch up until my needle is where I need to start the next strip. There we go. I could have made a knot and cut the thread on each one of these, but I don't believe in making tons of knots if I don't have to. This is going to be a placemat for my mom, and I'm sure at some point there'll be spaghetti spilled on here, so it doesn't really matter. Even if I were doing this on a quilt, I would probably do the same sort of a cheat. Pause to reposition my hands. I'm using my Handy Quilter Stitch 710 machine, and it has the ability for me to change the speed. It has a slider bar, so this is set a little over halfway fast, a little over half the motor. So when I use the foot pedal, I just use that as an on switch. I put the foot pedal on, push my foot all the way down, and then I don't have to worry about what my ankle's doing. If I feel that the speed is too fast or too slow, I'll adjust it on the machine rather than on my foot. Sorry, I just have to move some of the extra bulk of fabric. It's actually hitting the camera. So here I've painted myself into a corner again, and I can either move on to the next rail fence block, but you've already seen how I quilted that. So I'm just going to stitch up into this 6-inch piece of fabric. So I'm going to do some fake stitch in the ditch up here. Now this is a really busy fabric, and whatever I quilt on here won't matter. I could quilt loops or squiggles or anything I like. I'm going to quilt some leaves. I think you might have trouble seeing what I'm doing because the thread is going to blend so well. So I'm going to do a loop, go into the point of the leaf, pause, finish the leaf, put in a little vein, and do a loop into another one. If you really want to see how I do these leaves or more about the ribbon candy, I have that in one of my Craftsy classes. It's called Free Motion Quilting with loops, lines, curls, and loops, I believe. Sorry. Talking and quilting at the same time. Something gives. So I'm going to finish quilting this off camera for a minute, and I'll come back and show you the finished placemat. Here's the finished placemat. So you can see that there is ribbon candy in the golden areas, and some hidden stitching in the floral area. I promise it's leaves, but you're not going to be able to see that. So thanks for watching.